Hello there, my YouTube friends. So, as you can see by the thing that you clicked on, I've got my things through from Fusion Reactors in Australia. I'm sure his name's Hendra, I think it is, or something like that. So, thank you so much, Guy, for that. Much appreciated. I got it through the other day, about 2 or 3 days ago. They come through, and I basically rushed in here to get them. I need to try and get them set up as quickly as possible. Ran into a couple of issues, or technically aren't his fault, so I'm not going to be laying any blame to him. Some things he may have been able to be a bit more thingy about, and it might have worked a bit better, but yeah, if he's still learning things, then hopefully he may be able to take some of these types of things into consideration future. Not that he'll see my videos anyway, but so one of the things, like, obviously it came well packaged, nicely thingied, and one of the things that I really did like about it when I opened it up, I wasn't expecting at all, wasn't to be put in a nice basically case to carry them, and it's like a nice velvet style thingy to it. So I think that is a really nice touch and a really good thing. And the fact that when you open them up, they've got like a little sort of band over each side to keep them in place, so they don't fall out, they don't roll around anywhere. Now I got 2 different ones with all the fixes that I needed. The other one's not in here now. I've got it on the character, but I haven't got it lit up yet because I've got to buy a few other bits and pieces in order for it to work properly, which I will explain and show you in a moment. But I was well chuffed with that. And obviously, what else comes in the box? You got basically your extenders to wire it up to the actual thingies itself. Now, what I'm going to say, like I say, I am not trying to lay any blame. I am not trying to think him at all. I love what I've seen. I've put them on. They work beautifully. They're nice. They're beautifully bright. Perfect in every way when it comes to that. The only issues I have is a case of one. These wirings aren't exactly long enough for what I need them for. So they're not going to stretch from. I will show you here. Just give me 2 seconds. Right, so as you can see, right, one of them I bought was the Darth Vader one, which you can basically probably barely make out. It is in his hand there, but you can see it's got to go from the sort of top, which is what I would say maybe about 6 foot, 5.5 foot, 6 foot up, and we need to go across and drop down that leg strut to go down to reach down here where I would need to be able to plug it in. And obviously these wirings just ain't nowhere near long enough to do that. Like I say, that's again not technically Fusion Reactor's fault. He may learn in thinking and sort of ask how long of a wire would you like to have on there. That might help out a lot of people in a great way, you know, so that they can actually get the wiring that'll run as far as what they need it to the bottom end and save them out the thingy. But it's an easy enough fix. I've already ordered the stuff from Temu that I need, which is basically an extendable cable to go up from the, I'm pointing here, you know, to go from down the bottom here, go all the way up there. And then what I've also ordered to fit behind there, I'm trying to move my finger so you can, it homes in on thing, to fit behind there is basically like what I've got down here, which I will show you. It's basically one of these things that I can plug them all into, and that means I can have multiples coming out of the one area like what I've got here. And then I'm getting, basically you can see that the length of wire on this isn't exactly that long. Again, that's why I bought an extender to extend that bit so that it will reach basically from the top of here, because I can see his lightsaber that he's done ready, and I've also already basically stuck it up through there, and it's going down the back of his leg, so you can't really see much of it. It's hidden away, and then it'll just be a case of putting it down and putting that thing there or something like that. Like I say, I've bought another one and hiding it at the back here, under here somewhere, probably sticking it to this bit so that I can have any wiring I need, because obviously I'll want one for eventually to get one for Obi-Wan. And you can see like these ones here are ones that I bought that were for General Grievous, but I didn't get the General Grievous, I just bought the actual things for them. So eventually I'll need to replace all of those ones as well. This one is the one that I have the most issue with, but again, it's not technically his fault, but it's maybe something he can learn, possibly to make things a bit better. That is the pose that I want to have him in, and I'd like to be able to eventually see if we can get a bloody thingy to go, the Padawan version of Obi-Wan to go here, so that I can have that initial start when I first really met him and got the first bit of fighting going with him. But that's how I wanted it to be, like that. Okay, and I'll show you the reason it can't be done like that, and that I'm going to have to work something out to make it so that I can do this. And that's basically, as we get this right here and get set up, I'll just pause. You can see this is the one, or part of the one. There's the other one there for Darth Maul, okay, to make them the one saber. Now as you can see, obviously they're coming two thingies. That's a bit of wiring you get to be able to sort of try and get it thread through his body a little bit in order to attach the other bits to it there. And this bit, he has got a magnet. You know, you can't really see the thing, but there is a magnet. But the problem with it is that the magnet, I'm afraid, just isn't anywhere near strong enough. I mean, it's literally, it's not strong enough to even hold it in place at all. So that me being able to use one hand for him to hold it like that, it wouldn't date. And as soon as he has a hold of it, all that happens is it starts to sag like that, you know, which just doesn't look right at all. If you were to have it in both hands, you'd have to make sure that both of his hands were kept at the same level perfectly. Otherwise, again, it would just come apart and thingy, because it's just not enough magnetism in that magnet to date. So it might have been interesting if he could have found some sort of way to do that, so that worked out better. Maybe just, I don't know, a stronger magnet. If you can get stronger magnets at that size, that would have held. I honestly don't know. This is why I'm not gonna ever try and lay blame or say, you know, fuck's sake, mate, you know, you should think this. That I'm never gonna do that. That's not me. But that would have been an idea, that if you can get stronger magnets, that would have held that and kept it up, would have been perfect. Or something similar to like what you get with the actual thing itself, which is it has like one bored out part and another bit on the other side that sticks out enough so that it can be inserted to keep it together. Maybe that would have been an idea if that type of thing is possible. For me, I'm basically gonna have to work out, can I get a strong enough, possibly strong enough glue to glue them together so it holds in place, you know, because obviously I'm not going to be able to thing out the magnets and put magnets in there myself. So I'm going to have to see if I can get some sort of glue or something like that that can hold that together, so that it doesn't sort of like literally sag as soon as you let go of it. You know what I mean? It's literally not even powerful enough, the magnet, to keep it together, which is a crying shame. That's the one thingy that I have got about that, is that's a crying shame that isn't powerful enough to keep that stuck together. But other than that, I've had them on. They look wicked. They really do look a fantastic thing, and they're going to be a great addition. So, like I say, that's the only major issue I've got. That is going to be the one that's going to be the hardest one for us to work out, is can I get a glue that won't affect the wiring at all? Yeah, and will I be able to actually put that in his hand there when the wiring is there as well? You know, it's like, will the wiring be able to fold up enough in his hand, not be too tight to actually affect this wiring? That's me sort of me two little concerns there. Other than that, I love these things. These look brilliant, you know, and I'm well happy to have them. And yes, I will be ordering some more, as long as he allows us to. I will be ordering some more. Now I can say that for me, I ordered them on May the 6th, and I know that because that was my birthday. ordered May the 6th. They've only just come now, which is basically August. So basically they come sort of like the start end of August. So it took about 2 months for him to thing it. Now I don't know whether he makes them from scratch, whether he has any in stock or anything like that. I'm taking that he makes them from scratch. When you put an order in, he makes them for you, and that's why it's took this length of time. I'm happy with how fast they got here. He put them through a really fast post. I think since you consider that it's come from Australia, they come through very, very quickly. When I did eventually get the notification to say it was on its way, I think it took less than a week, about a week, maybe less, for it to actually arrive from me getting the thing to say it's left Australia, just arriving here in England and being delivered to me within a day or so after that. So that bit is sort of fantastic, you know. And like I said to you, it's well thingied. He's used a nice sturdy box, and I think it's a great touch that he uses like a lovely velvet box to put them in. I think that's a beautiful touch. I was not expecting that at all, so that's a fantastic thing. You can see the first two I bought was the Darth Maul dual one and the one for me Darth Vader. What's the next ones to order? I know ones I did want, and originally when I went to them in the first place was for the white blades for Ahsoka Tano. That's the ones I really wanted more than anything, was the 2 white blades for her, but at the time he didn't have them. Now I'm sure quite recently I've seen him put up some sort of thingy to say that he's now doing the white blades for her. So if that is the case, I am going to get in touch with him and ask him if that is the case, if he's doing that. They'll be the next ones I'll be ordering, because they're not exactly cheapest things in the world either. Like, you know, I mean, they're not cheap. They're not massively expensive through this guy either. Like, I'm gonna admit that they're not hugely expensive through them, but they're still not cheap either. You know, you're still talking there's a few £100 worth in the couple that I've bought. But I am looking forward to getting those bits that I've ordered from Temu, which should it'll probably take us longer to get them from Temu than what it did from thingy, but when they come, that's when you'll see the next part. I might actually put this one up as a separate video and then show you the next part when I get it, because then I'll particularly the hardest thing I think for the Darth Maul one again is, 1, getting them to stick together properly, and 2, finding how I'm going to actually run the wires, because of the way his thingies are. It might be a lot harder to run the wires through his thingy to hide them, but that's what I need to sort out once I've worked out how to what type of glue I'm going to use to glue that thing together, to see if I can get it to thing, because I tried putting each side part of it into his hand, but his hand, it's sort of, the gripping hand itself isn't like tight enough to be able to keep both of them level. You know, it's sort of dead slack at one part, so the thing just like literally flops through. You know, it doesn't work, it doesn't hold it at all, because I have tried straight away. It's the first thing I've done is I tried to do that, because like I say, the Darth Vader one, put it straight in his hand, fed the thingies through, so that's literally ready for when I get the extension up to it to be at the date. You know, and I've got to work out when I do the extension is what level I put the actual thing at, so that it can easily reach each one of the levels that I've got my figures on, because I've got figures on all of the different levels. Not all of them have lightsabers, but I will eventually try and replace the ones that I have got, which I'll be able to show you in a second. So you can see over here, it's like most of these don't have any of the sabers or anything in there. So I think it would be a kind of thing if we could do some sort of light up feature towards that. But again, I'm not hugely thinking about that. But you can see like, these two have got the light up ones. Again, these are the Grievous ones, so I'll eventually want to replace these two with the proper ones. None of them ones have them, so they're okay. Again, like, I've got the Darth Vader one there. I need to replace, eventually get this one done for the Obi-Wan. I need to eventually get the proper one for Qui-Gon. I've got the one for this guy. I'm just going to sort it all out. Come down, obviously they don't need them, and they don't need them. Right, and they come across, yeah. And so once again, I've got Luke Skywalker with the thingy one, which I'll have to replace with a proper one. I've got Luke Skywalker here, but I don't have his in. If I did eventually decide I wanted to do something with him having a lightsaber on, then I would probably have to look at getting one for his. Do have another Darth Maul down here. Will I get one for that one? I don't know. It's a possibility eventually, but it's not a big deal right now for us, you know. It's because like I say, they're not exactly the cheapest things in the world, but I do want to eventually get them if I can. And obviously I will have a one there, but I don't know again whether I'll need a one for this little guy. Those figures down there don't need them. Maybe it's a light up feature for him, maybe at some point if he does own anything like that. I could possibly do with getting a light up feature for this guy again as well, but again, I'm not hugely overthinking it at the moment. Hers, definitely, that's the next ones I want. If I can ding it and work out the price with them and get them ones sorted out, it's definitely getting them ones. Then across here, I don't think there's really anything that you can add pretty much any sort of light up features to, you know. There's nothing in amongst those that really need any sort of light up features, yeah. So I'll not be. So I mean, yes, it could do with a light up feature, which it is. There is a thingy there, but that's just unsightly as hell. So I wouldn't be sort of worried so much with that. And maybe stay with a light up feature for his head. They did have all this lot could light up at one time, the eyes and that thingy, but it fell off the top shelf a long time ago and the full thing just snapped off completely, so all the wiring's fucked in that thing anyway. So maybe to get a one for his head might be something eventually in the future, and the Mark 50 perhaps, because I'm not going to worry about that one doing there, because I'll probably end up eventually getting rid of quite a few of these fucking things, just because I've grown bored with the MCU. You know, you can see I've got a lot of caps there. I'll probably look at maybe starting to get rid of some of the caps and some of the Iron Men that I don't really need anymore. You know, I'll get rid of a few of those characters in there, because really all I want to do with a lot of those ones is to keep some of the basics. Like I'll possibly keep those two, unless I look at eventually trying to pick up maybe very dirt cheap, picking up the end game versions of them both. But I do like those two sort of thingy. I could probably do with a better version of her. I would probably keep the Thor, get rid of the Ant-Man, possibly get rid of the Ragnarok Thor. If I could get a good cheap version of actually Hulk itself, then I'll probably get rid of that one as well eventually. Get rid of the Ironmonger at the back, the Iron Patriot thingy one at the back there, and get rid of some of those other ones as well. Yeah, but that's so much for later on, and whether I'll get rid of any of them or not again, I don't really know at the minute. They're just ideas going through my head, but none of these ones really need thingies. That one might be for the head sculpt, that one might be a canny one to do, but again at the minute I'm not that fussed. Yeah, and none of the things need out like that. There's really none of them have much in the way of working these to them. Some of them have the head masks on, some of them don't. So there you go, guys. That's what I'm looking at so far. That's one thingy. I do have one thing here for that, to do a proper little thingy like that can be lit up. But other than that, like I say, happy as Larry with what I've getting. It's a great thingy. They light up really well. They're cheaper than some of the other ones that I have seen out there, so it's just now a case of like working out the details of what I need to do, and then getting in touch with them to see if he does have them white blades for Missy there, and get them ones ordered, and then eventually start working on which ones are going to be the next ones that I'm going to do over a period of time. But thanks very much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I will show you the update when I do eventually get the stuff through from Temu, and I have got it set up better, and I'll show you see what the other ones are like when they're on. But for the time being, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. This is the Beardy Nerdoof, and I am out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.